Okay, I'm showing how to set the starter valves. It's not too difficult. This is a 01 Honda VFR 5th generation. I'm not sure exactly how the 6th generations go, so if this helps, then that's good. If it doesn't, sorry. Okay, so this is all it is. Oh, and I highly recommend this Ryobi Tech 4 light. It is very bright. I very like it. Okay, so what we have here is I have the tank up, and the best thing I found out to hold the tank up at a good distance without destroying anything is the squeegee with the spray. I don't know, but the length is perfect. Okay, anyways. Okay, what this is, I'm gonna try to point and use my flashlight, so bear with me. Okay, right here, it's pretty much just I just call it just the arm, finger arms. Get little fingers down here. Okay. Okay, so what we have, okay, the shaft right here, that goes to the, okay, sorry, this goes for 00 and 01. Okay, so this shaft right here is threaded right here, then it's not threaded. That goes to the wax unit. Okay, and this is just where it goes through. This is actually two nuts. This long one is a nut, and this is a nut with its own washer, like built-in washer, like a nut hat. Okay, that's your idle control. As you can see, this part is attached to the flapper arm. So as you can see, it's not touching when the engine warms up. Right now the engine's cold, and I have it set. Mine's set around 2,000 RPM. So as you can see, it is pulled out. And you can kind of see where. Sorry, it's kind of too bright. The dirty on the shaft is where it's always out. Then the little piece of shiny from the rubber right there, that's how much it's pulled out right now. And as you can see, the black plastics by the end of the rods, those are the things you twist to set the starter valves. That is a very tedious, tiring thing to do. Especially, it'd be better if you had the right tools, but I did the oil setup with the tubes and the oil, and I used wire welder, the tip with the hole punched in, and that in the tubes, and that really slows down the vacuum when it's sucking it up. Anyways, as you can see, when it's cold and set properly, or to what you want it, you can set it to whatever RPM you want it to warm up at. I go around 2,000 RPMs. You can see it pulls, the fingers pull on the shaft. There's only 3 are adjustable. Of course, that one isn't. So it pulls on the arms, and then when the engine heats up, the shaft from the wax unit actually extends out, which relieves the finger arm, and the rods go inward. So it really doesn't matter. It doesn't affect your idle speed. So you can actually set this cold to whatever, because as you can see, it's not touching, so it doesn't matter. And like I said, that's 2 bolts right there. So you just you'll undo this bolt, this nut, take that out, don't worry about it, then put this nut on and just extend it out to, of course you can do this while it's running. Start the engine. If it's having trouble running, hold the throttle down, get the and then just start screwing this down, and I think it's like an 8mm wrench will do it, and just keep screwing it until the idle, you'll get the idle to where you want it, then put your set nut. Of course, do this when the engine is first started, cold, and you'll have that set. I mean, it's that simple. Now your RPMs, now depending on your starter valve being, if they're adjusted or not, that'll, your idle will be might be affected, probably not, but I mean, if it's idling erratic, then that's probably your starter valves. but this really just sets the cold idle. Okay, so once you tighten that down, you get it to where you want it, what RPM you want it, and it doesn't. My bike tends to stay at 2,000. That's as high as it goes. It doesn't, go to 2,000, then it goes a little bit higher, like some carbureted engines would do, and then or water controlled chokes, and then work its way up. It'll hold itself. So whatever you set it at, it should hold that RPM, and then it'll go down from that. So you shouldn't have to worry about it constantly going up and then coming down. It should stay at that until it hits I don't know, about 140, 150. Then I think it starts to back out, or my RPM starts to change. And then as it heats up, this will slide out, which will relieve the pressure, and it'll shoot those in. And that's pretty much it. Then once the engine's warm, fully warm, I would recommend at least 180. Then set your idle speed. Of course, this will obviously be closer or touching your idle screw here. And then you can adjust your hot idle. So, like I said, it doesn't matter what this is at. You're just doing your cold idle. This is separate. So once it's warmed up, then that'll touch it. And mine's I think mine's a California model, and they recommend 1,400 RPMs hot. So and I think the 49 states is 1,200 or something like that. So, but it's all up to you. You can go by manual, you can go by whatever you want. You can have it idle at 3,000 if you like it. That's all up to you. And it's that simple.